I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jenny, I think she forgot she'd already given me one of those. I think she intended for me to have two.
Well, I'll take mine.
Because she knew I was gonna be gone, so.
Yeah, you had already signed the books and everything. First item is approval of the board agenda.
I make a motion to approve the board agenda.
I second that.
And I will roll call Dr. Nancy Lamson,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
and Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is approval of the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I second.
And I will roll call Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
and Dr. Nancy Lamson.
Aye. Consent agenda is approved. The next item on the agenda is the contract of employment for Dr. Jeannie Phillips.
I make a motion to approve this contract.
Second.
Motion and second.
I will roll call Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Lamson,
Aye.
and Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Motion carries. Second item is the approval of the consolidated funding application, FY 26 consolidated application for IDEA, ESEA, school year 25-26.
So what that is Title I.
Title I,
It's our
everything.
instructional staff. Title II is
Yeah.
PD. Title IV and V is our elementary music program, and then IDA is sped staff. So, and there's a few little things in it, but it's
That's-
mainly
that's
just our
okay.
employees. Yep.
I make a motion to approve this.
I second.
Motion and second.
And I will roll call Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
and Dr. Nancy Lamson.
Aye. Motion carries. The next item is to seek bids for concealed weapons detection. Is this something that goes in the building?
That's like our metal detectors. It's just it's kind of a X-ray machine.
Okay.
So that's one for each door? or
Actually, I think we're gonna have one point to where they go through from now
In
on.
each building?
No, just one point period
We
in
went up
the.
to middle school and know where you're
Oh yeah, but the middle and high school there'll only be one, and it's a lot quicker. It's kind of like the detection machines that you see like at Dollywood or football games. It's pretty much kind of an X-ray machine. Right, Clayton?
I make a motion to approve these, to accept bids.
I second that.
And I will roll call Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Lamson,
Aye.
and Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And we got a grant for that too, Dr. Cross.
That's
Kelly
even
did.
better.
Kelly did, I did.
Yeah.
Kelly got a grant to pay for
Good
it.
deal.
Next item is garbage pickup, and the recommendation is to accept Scott Solid Waste. Had two bids this time, Scott Solid Waste and Half Garbage Will
And that's the
Travel.
one we had.
The same one.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve that.
I second.
And I will roll call Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Lamson,
Aye.
and Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item was an executive decision, but we put it on the agenda anyway. It was for the cheerleaders, a rod and knife sale.
Is Lee their sponsor now? Just out of curiosity. Lee
What-
Copeland. Is she the cheerleading sponsor?
Kinsey Brasher and Lee Coleman.
Both, okay.
Yeah.
I just saw she signed it, I was just curious.
Yes, yes.
I make a motion to approve this.
Motion.
I second that.
And I will roll call Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
and Dr. Nancy Lamson.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have a whole stack of memorandums of understanding. It's just like what we do year after year after year. Stan, Alqui, Vigilance, Security and Technology, that's Clayton. Grace Rehabilitation, Bright Futures, that's one that Kim,
It's a new one.
that's the new one, but very good, right? Yes. Children's Center of the Cumberlands, two of them, and Stellar Therapy Services.
What's that one?
Speech and language.
Okay, still, okay,
But here's the whole packet.
okay.
Do I hear a motion that we
I make a
approve?
motion to approve for the MOUs.
I second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
and Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye, motion carries. Next item, you have a nice little color chart of certified and non-certified pay scales.
They did a great job on
Mhm.
that. Zach is phenomenal, as you all know. He's
Yeah.
the brainchild behind that, but him, Allison, and Paula kind of keep it. They don't let me have access to it.
But this is,
I have access, but not editing access.
So,
this is such a good
It
thing
is.
that's
It's-
if they
been
want
done.
to stay beautiful, they leave you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And listen, they could sell this and make tons of money.
Yeah.
Because it
Now
is,
that's
It's like
it
a
is
formula.
awesome.
Yeah.
It is,
It really is awesome.
it's great.
I use it almost every day now that I know how.
I make a motion to approve this.
Second.
Motion and second.
And I will roll call. Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross, and Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye, motion carries. The next is the mileage per diem. This is the state rate.
Yeah, it is. It's a new
New
state
state
rate.
rate. 70 cents a mile from 65, and then the daily is 69, or 63 from 59. Yeah.
I make a motion to approve this.
And I will roll call. Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson,
Aye.
and Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next, we have several resignations. Miranda Flint, Melissa Cruz, Alex Van Hook, Aubrey Sexton, and Claire Jane Newman. Do I hear a motion that we accept these letters of resignation?
I make a motion to approve these letters of resignation.
Motion?
Second.
And I will roll call. Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
and Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye. Motion carries. And one leave of absence. Chloe Strunk from August 1st to October 31st.
I make a motion to approve this leave of absence.
Second.
Motion and second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson,
Aye.
Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
and Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Motion carries. And then the last item is supplemental pay amendment, rural health care resiliency program grant. That's Kelly and Allison.
I make a motion to approve this.
I
Motion,
second.
second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson,
Aye.
Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
and Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, director's report.
So, the first thing you'll see in your packet is legislative updates. We received, well, Katie received, the policy changes, and there are a lot. She's been working on them
I'm on
all.
17 so
all
far,
day.
so it'll be
So,
on next meeting.
a lot of laws have changed, so we'll have a lot of different policies. And then, obviously, if we need to, we'll involve supervisors and things like that in those policies. Also, for the 24-25 school year, we had some people with perfect attendance this year. We didn't have anybody with almost perfect, but we did have people with perfect attendance. Donna Tompkins, Donovan Seaboat, Morgan Seaboat, Josh Wright, Dorena Butler, Barbara Taylor, Leonard Lackey, Debbie Anderson, Jeannie Phillips, or I'm glad I got glasses on. Brooke Crabtree, thank you, Allison, for your glasses. Also, the summer feeding program will begin on June 2nd, which has already began, and it'll be held from Mondays from 1 to 6 and Wednesday from 9 to 1. That may change based upon the state. I'm not really sure what that's going to look like, but right now that's what we're doing. Meal pickups will take place in front of the middle school and high school cafeteria, getting light on Bank Street for everybody that would come out. We want to highly encourage people to come out. There is no criteria except you have to have have to have kids. We don't care what school system they are in, as long as they live in Scott County, we want to serve.
Is the
Okay.
county doing this year? No, okay.
We want to serve. Now I will tell you this, it is hard for us to manage and do all that, so I can understand why they don't do it. It is, it's a lot of work, and a lot of rules and regulations, but I love the fact that we are getting food into our community, and you know, you've heard me say it before, it's so expensive. Groceries are so expensive, so we want to get this food in the hands of the families that live here. You do not have to be income eligible, anything like that. You just have to have a kid under 18. That's it. And
it's
live
good
in the
food.
county, and it's good food.
It really
Yeah.
is.
So Kathy and her staff, they do a great job coming up with things that, you know, meet that strict criteria of what we're allowed to actually hand out. But I want to really encourage anybody from Scott County that has children to come. You do not have to bring the kids with you. You just have to tell us how many you have, and we'll take care of the rest. I've also included in your packet TSSAA updates. I know that those are always a hot topic, so information on that. Also, I want to welcome, beginning July 1, our new leadership team, Miss ashley Billingsley and Miss Michelle Massengill to the elementary school. We hope they don't quit before we get them started. And also, we have a new basketball coach, Logan Goodman, and he has really gotten off to a great start. I know we have a lot of kids in that program, but we're thankful for those kids. Also in your packet, you've got the Ayers Foundation year in review, and another thing I want to mention before I do the hires is we need to change our July board meeting from the 3rd to the 10th. That's the only time these guys get off. So we don't want them to have to come in for a board meeting if that's possible.
I will not be here on the 10th.
Okay.
Okay, so.
So we can pick a different day.
Mark and Kevin will have to do,
Yeah, but let's just pick a different day.
well, that's, like I said, that's fine, but
What day will you be?
I'll be here the next week,
Okay,
the 17th.
okay.
It's 17.
No, that's the
law conference.
Law conference.
that's
Oh,
the law conference.
Okay, we can't do that. I'm sorry.
It's okay, that's why we're here, we're gonna discuss that. Is there like a Friday or something?
I could do, Monday or Friday probably.
The 11th?
No, I'll be gone that whole week.
Okay, what about Monday the 14th?
I can do that.
Is everybody good with the 14th? Allison, we good?
I have to consult with my secretary. I never carry a calendar. Probably.
Is there other days you're gone, Allison?
No, we're not. We're actually at a conference.
Oh,
The principals are
Zach
on.
and several people are going all that way to Nashville for a conference. To an innovative
I'm
teaching
sorry.
summit.
But it's okay, you all don't have to, as long as y'all don't need a report from them, right?
No, they can always send something.
Yeah, and you, hey, listen, just sit on a piece of.
Or if you want to send it to me, I can make sure to put it in their folders.
Yeah.
Look it up.
So the 14th,
At 6.
or 6 o'clock, okay? Do
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
Okay.
14 July. 6 p.m.
Are you good, Allison?
I'll have to look and see. I've got stuff right now on my calendar.
Okay.
no, between doctors.
You got kids in sports and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so for the month of June, I hired the following people: Zach Brown, Kim Burris, Stacy Love, Kelly Chitwood, Selena Mayberry, Ashley Billingsley, Jason Terry, Julie Douglas, Jackie Carson, Allison Mays, Paula Laxton, Katie Johnson, Kathy Buttron, Madison Bayer, Jim Birchfield, Debbie Anderson, Renee Chitwood, Casey Bowling, Lisa Height, April Jones, Barb Taylor, Andrea Marlowe, Sharon Ellis, Matt Hicks, Heather Hewitt, Peggy West, Catherine Bell, Debbie Creech, Taylor Hutchison, Kinsey Brasher, Michelle Anderson, Denise McGee, Ann Miles, Ann Braden, Lanita Bowling, Stacy Bowling, Cynthia Crabtree, Paula Crabtree, Kim Davis, Tiffany Davis, Beth Dunick, Angie Ellis, Cole Alpock, Velva Phillips, Noah Patterson, April Ross, Jalen Young, Crystal Young, Josh Barnes, Richard Bird, Brenda Coffey, Brent Ellis, Nicole Davis, Chris Ellis, Cliff Ellis, Damian Ellis, Robert Evans, Leonard Lackey, Paul Lau, Bruce Mays, Janet Phillips, Sherry Hammock, Jean Jeffers, Joe Slavin, Jason Pike, Madeline Franklin, Morgan Gazay, Alicia Sieber, Rhonda Sexton, Allie Slavin, Shannon Slavin, Richie Castrunk, Kaylee Vasquez, Josh Wright, Elizabeth Duncan, Logan Fultz, Heather Lau, Isabel Manus, Michelle Massengale, Amy Mooring, Renee Vaughn, Jaden Brown, Marcus Birchfield, Stephen Burris, Jessica Chambers, Keith Davidson, Jonathan Elliott, Josh Terry, Bo Kidd, Crystal Boland, Jacob Boshears, Mark Martin, Carla Botchley, Megan King, Kira Richardson, Mandy Tucker, Jessica Worley, Sarah Christie, Tommy Harness, Selena O'Neill, John Terry, and Jordan Sims, Delia Ferguson, Amanda Warren, Logan Goodman, Jacob Hamilton, Griffin Lafferty, Luke Barna, Maya Dunlap, Jesse Boyles, Aaliyah Douglas, Zeb Spradlin, Micah Bulls, Stephen Lawson, and Stone Yancey. And that is all I have before the board.
Okay. Stacy, we'll start with you.
I mean, I know it's summer, I don't know, I hope that the director didn't give you also, did you get 2 copies of the errors thing?
Oh, I don't know. Did I?
Okay.
It's
well,
okay.
The errors has, some really good information in it. One of the reasons that we were very adamant to get them was that they tracked post-secondary data, which is something that, we really not have the ability to do very efficiently. So if you look, that tracks our college attendance rates, our FAFSA. We had 100% FAFSA, which I know sounds like not a very big deal, but like literally we were tracking people down in the car line, like, hey, can you come do your FAFSA? And we don't have to get to 100%, but it's important to us that we do, so that every kid doesn't miss the opportunity if they change their mind, to have that money. So, that's got some great information in it. They print that up every year. And I think it really reflects the work of the school district and the good things that are happening. We have summer baseball going on. We have a little cheer camp going on. We have 8 kids in summer school at the high school right now doing some credit recovery, working on schedules, and that's about it for the high school right now.
Very good. There's always a lot going on. Selena?
Well,
I'm just gonna say, survived year 1. So we made it, it's completed, we're good. I made it through graduation once I told everybody to have a seat, so that worked out okay. We do have summer learning camps, of course, at the elementary school. I think we have about approximately 20 middle school students there. We also have about 5 in a special ed class at the middle school. We've got cheer, basketball, all of that going on, interviewing to fill some positions. Maintenance, janitorial, completing their summer to-do list. They are working like crazy. So many rooms have already been waxed, and Lackey, of course, is keeping everybody in line. And we're just closing out 24, 25 and prepping for 25, 26.
Never ends.
Never ends.
Very good. And Ashley?
so we're doing a lot of the same things. I'll go ahead and apologize. My voice has been going for 3 weeks now. We've been sharing germs apparently. So it might go, but we're doing building maintenance and preparation. Our janitorial crew is also just hitting it hard. We have a lot of rooms already completed. They're starting at one end of the building and doing moving down the hallway very, very quickly. We've had some shifts in staff members, so we're getting staff in place right now.
We've been able to do some hiring there as well, so I think we're good to go on most of our staff right now. So we are working on some initiatives that we want to get going for next year. We're doing some library updates. Cliff Ellis has been painting the library, and that got completed this week, so we're trying to make that a little more visually appealing for our students. Hoping to get some furniture that's a little more friendly for little kids and things like that, and so we're working on that. We are hosting summer school. We've had a pretty good turnout this week, somewhere between 60 and 70 on various days. I think those numbers will increase next week once Little Girl Cheer Camp ends. They usually, week one's a little bit different because they have other activities they're wanting to participate in, but the teachers are doing a really good job at, wanting to do some fun activities with the kids. Today they had a little carnival out on the playground, and apparently they were even making some cotton candy that I did not get to enjoy. So I'm trying to just make that as fun as possible, doing some different things. I saw a lot of face painting coming out at the end of the day. So I'm very, very pleased with the team that we've put together. We've started prepping and preparing, working on the master schedule and class rosters, and it's been a full team effort with input from all of our stakeholders, and I think that's been a really good thing just this week. So we're just
Very good.
chugging along.
Does Kelly have a report or anything?
No, she's actually
Yeah.
she's doing the life skills. No,
Yeah.
she's in Denver, Colorado. Poor Clayton is batching it. I don't think he
loves it, don't you, Clay?
I don't think he misses
I
her.
thought he looked kind of
But we definitely miss her, so
Yeah.
we miss her. But yeah, she's doing a lot, so.
Yeah, a lot.
I'm sure she can probably recap next month
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
for June and July
Right.
with the report.
But, I mean, all you have to do is just look around and see what all she's got going. No student representatives. There's so much going on at the high school that I do want to mention this Imprints of Honor. That was a very impressive program. And of course, Danny did part of it, and his story is in the book. But Bladen King and William Bishop won a scholarship for their essays. And the group was only supposed to give one out of all of them, and they ended up giving 5. They had 5 entries, and evidently they were all outstanding, but we had 2 to win one of their $1,000.
Out of the 5, that's a lot.
Yeah. And we're the only school in Tennessee that has it. But it's such a good program, and I think the students are learning so much from talking to the veterans and getting their stories, plus the experience of transcribing and editing. And it's really been a good program. This is the shirt that they had this year. And
Walking away being a published author in
Yeah.
high school is pretty impressive.
right, it is. And some of them, this is their second year. But it's a very good program. And then, of course, the FFA is there.
The Have the Barn opening, I should talk about that, it's just so much.
Dr. Barr, and it's just, it's such a good program for those kids. And what we're seeing with a lot of the things, the Ayers Foundation, and a lot that's going on in the high school is this development of leadership skills that these kids are getting. Public speaking. And I've noticed this at every graduation, so many of them are afraid to look at you. And if nothing else, if we can get them to the point that they can walk across the stage with their head held high and shake your hand and go on off, and not be afraid to step out and be brave.
Look you in the eye with a strong handshake. That's all you have to do.
Yep.
To get through most of this world.
It is. Eye contact and a good handshake. But just so many everyday skills that we're developing in these kids that they don't get anywhere else. And it really makes me proud to see what a good group that we do have coming out, and our staff, faculty, administration. I mean, you've heard me say it before, in all the school visits I've done in the past, we're always right at the top. And it's so easy to see.
Well, and I should have said, we have so many good, like, it's hard at the high school to get true community involvement.
Mhm.
And I feel like this year with the programs we've had, we really have had strong community involvement with the people we're partnering with, not only with work-based learning, with the barn. I mean, you're bringing in and celebrating these communities, people within the community that are really giving back to our school and investing in our students. Same thing with the veterans program.
Yeah.
For them to take the time to do that, to help our students, it's a great way to connect with our community. And I think we're gonna see that grow. Like I said, it's not as easy, not that I'm not trying to say that, but for high school, like, most of the time, the parents just, like, elementary parents are there all the time and great, and then high school, they're just kinda like, they're fine, they'll come to the sporting events.
Yeah.
So to have events like the Night of the Arts and all of these things where we're getting parents in for other things than athletics, I'm really proud of that, proud of our
And then
staff.
to watch the art program grow from elementary to middle, to high school, I've tried my best. Every legislator that I talk to, I tell them, if you would spend the money on the arts in the schools, you wouldn't have to worry about the test. It would take care of itself. And we don't need to be teaching them a test, we need to be teaching them something that's gonna benefit them later.
And our kids painted the pavement
Yeah.
for the senior citizens to make it look
Yeah,
3D.
the 3D
Yeah.
crosswalk. They'll probably be doing some more because that was one of the things that was mentioned in improving downtown was having crosswalks. Any other comments? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.